y'all, it's Ashley. I'm going to ask you a question. What's for dinner tonight? Well, for me, it's shepherd's pie. But it's not your traditional shepherd's pie. This shepherd's pie is going to be a quick and super easy recipe. Now, most of us are probably on the go, busy with school, work, family, and you just need to come home when you're tired at the end of the day and you need something that is hot and in your stomach, but it needs to be quick, it needs to be simple, and it needs to be convenient. Well, this recipe is going to save you because this is a super easy recipe for shepherd's pie. Now, traditionally with this recipe, it probably calls for more select cuts of beef. And for example, in this recipe, I'm using ground hamburger. It probably calls for fresh vegetables, but in this recipe, I'm using canned vegetables. And it probably calls for homemade mashed potatoes, but you got it right. I'm using instant potatoes. So, I'm going to just give you a rundown of what I put inside my my shepherd's pie. Now, I would like to also add that it's not really a shepherd's pie. There's a little bit of a twist in it. It's going to be a shepherd's pie casserole. So, we're actually going to be layering everything and putting it into a formation of a casserole. So, what I like to start out with, of course, my staple ingredient is my hamburger meat. After I browned and I've drained it, I go ahead and I put it inside my casserole dish because this is a no-fuss recipe. We're not washing a lot of dishes. So, and by the way, this casserole dish that I'm using is a 9x13, so that gives you a general idea of how much that you're actually making. So, I've browned about 1.5 to 2 pounds of hamburger meat. I threw that in my casserole dish. I'm adding a couple of cans of mixed veggies. This is to your liking and your preference. If you don't like canned, use the frozen bags of vegetables. Steamables. They're awesome. Now, this is just a generic can of mixed vegetables. It's got peas, carrots, corn, green beans, that sort of thing. I use 2 of these, and then I mix it up in my hamburger meat. Now, after that, I've got a couple of cans of cream of celery. You don't have to use cream of celery. They got mushroom, they got potato. Lord, I probably got a whole bunch of them, but to mix it up for me, I usually use cream of mushroom, but tonight, you know, I'm going to try celery. So, I've got a couple of cans of these. So, I've threw that in my casserole dish, and I'm mixing all those ingredients up. Now, my next layer, that's my initial, that's my first layer that I'm starting out with. My next layer is going to be instant mashed potatoes. So, I went ahead and did some prep work. I sweated over and I boiled my water and I made my instant mashed potatoes, and that's my next layer on my casserole dish. After that, you got to garnish it, right? Cheese. So this is just a bag of sharp cheddar cheese. You probably got this in your refrigerator. I just spread it on top. That's going to create a crust for our casserole. Now, I generally preheat my oven to 350 degrees, something around there. And I put it in the oven for about 25-30 minutes because everything is already pre-cooked. You're just reheating and melting your cheese. So, after you've assembled your casserole, it should look something like this. And I'll bring it a little bit closer. You can see the bottom layer, the first layer, is our hamburger meat with our veggies and our cream of celery that's mixed in. Our next layer is our mashed potatoes and our garnish of cheese. And that's it. This is definitely a meal that you could probably prep the night before. You could prep that morning, keep it in the fridge when you get home, pop it in the oven when you get home. It's super quick, it's super easy. Feel free to take away ingredients, add ingredients, make it your own, you know. But this is what I do after a long day of work and I just want something hot to eat. And, you know, most of the ingredients are already in your kitchen. I mean, you might have to pick up 1 or 2 things, but it doesn't call for a lot. And this is the end of my video. Thank you for watching. This is my version of shepherd's pie. Take care.